engineer controls it.
Okay.
There's 13 fuel tanks. You can move fuel from any tank to any tank, left to right, forward to aft, aft to forward, and we would, subsonically, we would still change the CG in flight. There's 3 computers that keep track of the CG. If they all agree, everybody's happy. If one disagrees, they kick him off, and there's 2 left. If they disagree, they don't know which one's right and which one's wrong, so they shut everything down. And then the poor flight engineer, let me have this bottom page, has something about this size with the fuel in different positions, and he looks at the gauge and says, I got fuel here, fuel here, fuel here, the CG is here. Thank goodness that never happened. I did it in the sim, and that was not fun. Standard clearance out of here, out of DFW, and it's the same today, is runway heading to 10,000 feet for vectors on course. Typically, we operated at what they referred to as light weights. Light weights to them mean 140 tons or less. And tons are spelled T-O-N-N-E-S.
Which are smaller than...
That's what we refer to as the long ton, 2,200 pounds. Okay? So you can figure out right away you got a pretty heavy airplane. Before takeoff, the first officer would figure out what speeds you're going to go to. And typically, at the weights we operated at, 45 to 50 seconds from the time we added power for takeoff, we'd go into noise abatement procedure. We'd line up on the runway, and there were 3 stopwatches that could count up or count down. So we'd set them all, line up, the captain would say, everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, now. On now, everybody hit the stopwatch and he'd slam the throttles forward and we're on our way. Typically, rotation came around 155, 160 knots, someplace in there. We're trying to maintain 250, probably doing 280 and about 32, 33 degrees of pitch.
Jesus.
The rocket, man. That is a rocket.
45 to 50 seconds from the time we added power for takeoff. 5 seconds prior, the flight engineer would say -5, and whoever was flying, if he liked, he says, okay. And then the flight engineer would say, now, shut the afterburners off, and there was an indices that we preset to come back to noise abatement setting, and the pilot not flying would pull them back. We learned real quick that we had to brief the passengers, because here they are, they're sitting, they've never been on this thing, and they hear this humongous roar, and they get pushed back in their seat, and they look out, and this plane is climbing like a homesick angel, and then all of a sudden it gets quiet. And people thought we had an engine failure on all 4 engines. So we had to brief the people. Okay? We called departure. Departure, this is Braniff, Concorde, whatever the number was. Out of 2,500 climbing to 10 looking for higher. Their typical response is, Roger, stand by. Our response is, Roger, we're level. They learned very quickly, as soon as we got on departure, to clear us up to 24,000. As soon as they switched us to Fort Worth Center cleared us up to our final subsonic cruise altitude.
What was that subsonic?
Wait a minute.
Oh.
From the time we added power for takeoff to the time we'd be at 35, 37, whatever we had that day, doing 0.95 Mach was 10 minutes.
Jesus.
It moves.
And that's at what, about half throttle?
Pardon?
How much throttle were you using? About half?
No. It's designed to shove the throttles forward and never touch them.
Huh. So what set the limit at 0.95?
Subsonic cruise. Because if you go any
Well,
faster
yeah.
than that, you put a sonic boom down.
But what
on
I
the
mean by
ground.
that is if you just shove the throttles all the way forward, what keeps you from going supersonic?
Pitch.
Well,
What a play.
subsonic, you have auto throttle, so you set 9.5 and it comes back.
Okay, so you just push it forward and set the auto throttles?
Basically. It's an amazing airplane. It really is. And the British and the French to agree and design and get it operational is amazing. We never got ours airborne. We tried to use exotic materials, and
SSC
the
program.
reason it's so slow, and I'd say slow, is because they used what they had available. It was designed in the late 50s, early 60s.
How fast do you think it could have gone had they used our stuff?
I don't know, but I've been up to 2.7.
Oh. Jesus.
Now let's get back in the box.
All right.